Adrienne, let's just start off here with why we're kind of seeing the negative market reaction. Because when I looked at comp sales in the quarter, they were pretty much a beat all around. And even their guidance on comp sales going forward, we're still kind of at the high end of what investors were expecting. Is this about sales growth or is this more about margins and profitability?
It's about positioning, in fact, right? So TJX and the off-pricers have been the defensive trade. And I think the juxtaposition of Target printing today and having big kind of upside from that clean inventory and that margin recapture is kind of making people think that, hey, there's a beta trade, right? There's a higher risk reward trade that could be happening as we enter 2024. I know you've been on before kind of talking about the cleanliness of inventory at frontline retail. And if you think about it, TJX has been the outperformer. 2022 was their big outperforming year. And this year, we're starting to see that fundamental flow through. So I just think that this is purely positioning, and they are notoriously, conservative when they give that guidance. But you're absolutely correct; they are comping, and that's a big difference than most of the retailers that are out there today.
There's a broader question here just about kind of these off-price retailers, and TJX has always been one of those companies that has kind of been seen as sort of recession-proof. The idea that people go to them when times are good, and of course when times are bad, they go to them even more. When we look ahead to some of its competitors or its peers out there, like Ross Stores, which I think might report tomorrow evening, are we going to see more of the same out of those names, or is there something specific to TJX and its properties that we should be focused on?
So the off-price model itself is actually having its golden moment, right? It's prime time for that kind of defensive posturing. Ross Stores will report tomorrow night, as you said. They tend to focus on a 50,000 household income. TJX tends to be at 75K, and then next week we'll get Burlington. I think you're going to see a very, very similar report, similar to the good, right, that we saw from TJX. And I think that Burlington next week is going to be a little bit more, it's going to be tougher, right? Because the first two kind of are taking up all this good inventory. And we know that Burlington sort of has been struggling with their business model to really take advantage of what's actually happening in the marketplace.
And Adrienne, talk to us a little bit about how important the holiday season is for these retailers in particular. I know it's very important across the board, but when you think about the off-price retailers, how much does this matter?
This matters hugely. NRF came out with their holiday forecast sort of in that 4%-ish range, give or take. That's really healthy, right? And what we're seeing from the consumer is that they are seeking value. They are trying to stretch that dollar. Their wallet is very much under pressure. And the off-price channel is delivering that value, greatly, right, across all these different categories. So I really do think it's going to be the off-price holiday. And the second thing that I'll say just about the consumer behavior, it's very pockety, meaning that on the kind of, high traffic days that she should be shopping or he should be shopping, they're out in force. On the kind of days that there's nothing going on, October, kind of the shoulder periods, you're going to see a big quiet lull in the early part of December after Black Friday. That's when it goes really, really quiet. So when they come out, we absolutely think broadly they're going to come out for holiday, but mostly they're going to, off-price is really going to win this holiday season.